On the next edition of Freedom Journal Rock, the stories of 9/11 from those on the front lines of the War on Terror and how they remember 5 years later. It started as a typical September morning in 2001, but the attack on America changed our country forever. Hi, and thanks for joining us on this special 9/11 edition of FJI. 5 years later, the War on Terror pits the United States military against an enemy with no country and no borders. Today we take a look at those who fight and the reasons for their service. But first, in what seems to be an odd case of irony, former Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein returns to the courtroom today for terrorist acts against his own people. Private First Class Brad Latham has the story. In the wake of 9/11, the European Center on Racism and Xenophobia reported an increased fear of Muslims, which they call Islamophobia. I had the chance to talk with one Marine at Al-Assad Air Base in western Iraq about what he's doing to set the record straight and change the image of Muslim Americans. Welcome back. In October 2001, less than a month after the attack on America, U.S. and British forces began an air campaign on Afghanistan, the country where many believed Osama bin Laden was hiding. From there, the military's role in fighting terrorism overseas saw nearly 400,000 troops deployed around the world in 2005. Beyond the numbers, there are the stories of those who took an oath to fight for their country. Sergeant First Class John Fries introduces us to 4 service members influenced so deeply by that fateful September day, they joined the fight on terror. In a world where the fear of terrorist attacks has become the norm, men and women like the ones we've shown you volunteered and still continue to volunteer to fight. Thankfully, their commitment to making sure a day like 9/11 doesn't happen again is the norm as well. Thanks for watching this special 9/11 edition of Freedom Journal Rock. We'll be back tomorrow with more stories from the front lines of the War on Terror and Operation Iraqi Freedom. Until then, from all of us here at AFN Iraq, have a good day. More than 250 miles of airspace.
Ivy the same. This will be a precision approach.
Tracking aircraft up to 12,000 feet in the sky.
7 miles from touchdown, approaching glide path from A above glide path.
And a constant flow of aircraft from every direction.
We've got supply aircraft and troop aircraft coming in and out of Al-Assad. We've also got combat missions going on at the same time, so it's a very important responsibility to keep that separation, to keep those aircraft safe, get them on the ground and get them off.
Approach.
Sergeant Ireland's the supervisor for the 5-man shift, not only because of his rank, but the experience he brings to the team.
This is my 4th deployment, yes. It's a very high tempo. A lot of that is due to our manning and being such low-level manning. A lot of times it's a very short push. You do a deployment for 6 to 7 months, go home, you turn right back around 4 to 5 months later and come back. You know, it's something that you expect. I think it causes a lot of stress for guys, younger guys that are just getting in. But when you realize what we're here to do and that this is what you signed up for.
All right, Shooter 2-4, Al-Assad final controller. How do you hear me?
You deal with it. It's just a situation that you just come to accept.
Made to runway 27 left.
Some people say it's stressful. It really depends on a lot of factors.
Factors like getting assault helicopters to ground troops in the fight, or an overwhelming number of aircraft in the sky. That's where the team is key.
Well above glide path, holding. 1 mile from touchdown, A above glide path.
Breaking down the airspace
Left course and correcting.
so each controller has their own role.
I have a little amount of airspace that I work with, usually just a final approach course, and just talking pilots through it, where they are exactly in relation to the airfield, just to get them down safely on deck.
But the team of air traffic controllers go beyond the small room of 5. They're the radar section, who has all the fancy equipment.
5-4 Al-Assad Tower, runway 27 left, winds 270 at 4, clear for takeoff.
The tower controllers have a headset and a pair of binoculars.
Tower environment, you have to be more creative. It changes every situation, every day. It's a different, situation you run into. It's a different environment. You got a lot less airspace to work with, and aircraft coming in for the same runway, same landing spot, and you gotta sequence them and make it work.
For now, they're in an expeditionary position, not because of the war, but because of construction on the permanent tower.
Tower.
So the Marines are here in the small but important place that hovers over the flight line. And even though they have a mobile office, they know their place on Al-Assad.
On a daily basis, we see that we're needed, we can't just leave here. Things can't function the way they should if we weren't here. So it provides a sense of, okay, I am part of this. I don't need to be right out on the front line with a weapon.
SrA 10 gusting up to 18 knots. Hover checks approved. Report complete.
In a stressful job where their situation in Iraq doesn't bring any relief, these Marines of Detachment Bravo know their job and their mission. Be the eyes of the sky. Airman First Class Richard Gonzales, Al Assad Air Base, Iraq.
5-4 Al Assad Tower, runway 27 left, we're clear for takeoff.
Before this Cobra takes to the sky, the 269 Warriors Ordnance Team pulls the pins on the weapons and salutes the pilot for takeoff.
We're the last ones to touch it before it takes off and the first ones to grab it when it lands.
These Marines don't take their job lightly. It's up to them to arm the Cobra to support troops on the ground.
Loading up, knowing that we're doing a lot of air support for all our grunts and stuff that gives me, that little adrenaline pump.
If they do their job right, it only takes 30 seconds to pull the pins on all the ordnance. But their job off the flight line takes more time.
Well, what we're going to do here is we're going to build up one of our load trailers. And we're going to put an aircraft's worth of ordnance on it, which requires some ALE, which is the countermeasure system, the CADs for each station, some Hellfire missiles, some tow missiles, 1, 2, 3, some rockets, and some rounds for the 20mm gun. We're going to build it up, and then we'll roll up to the flight line, and we'll actually load the aircraft.
From the trailer to the Cobra, the Marines load another rocket.
Seat it. Push.
With one last missile to push into place, the Cobra's loaded and ready. Now the Ordnance Team's job comes down to that crucial 30 seconds of arming the weapons, the last set of hands to touch the helo before it flies off to be the helping hand for troops on the ground. Airman First Class Richard Gonzales, Al Assad Air Base, Iraq.
My name is Sergeant Abdul Halim. I'm an avionics technician. I work with communication, navigation, radar, and I'm based in El Asad, Iraq. I've actually been in the Marine Corps for about 4 years, and this is the first time I actually feel like I'm actually made a difference and made an impact in the Marine Corps, and that my job is actually an important job, knowing that if I don't do my job right, that the other Marines that are on the ground side that need our air support are going to suffer the consequences. Hey, first, go to super wide. What I'm doing here is to prove that what I'm fighting for is to fight against those guys who are giving people like me and my family and people that I come from a bad name and that bad reputation. There's Muslims that are out here that are fighting for a war against the war on terrorism, because it's the war on terrorism, it's not the war against Islam. Yes, I was here and I made a difference, and I made a difference for the people of Iraq, to make a better country for a better people.
We have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
It looked like it was moving slowly, and it lined itself up to hit the building directly.
You're fighting that enemy in Iraq and Afghanistan today.
This is the first time I actually feel like I'm actually made a difference.
You can see the pride in people's eyes.
What I'm fighting for is to fight against those guys who are giving people like me and my family a bad name and that bad reputation.
Exercise, exercise, exercise.
Have a new update for you from the command post. Alarm condition is black in sectors 2, 3, 15, and now adding 16. Initial release, initial park checks as well. Alarm green in all other sectors. Mob condition is 0.
Exercise, exercise, exercise.
Got requested Queens of the Stone Age, Little Sister, doing their thing. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Give me a call, 452-1051. I'll get those requests on for you. Leonard Skinner by request from 1973. It's Tuesdays Gone. Coming up right after this quick break. You need some plans for the weekend. Well, you came to the right place. I got all the rundown from Friday to Saturday. Let you know what's going down around the base so that you can make your plans accordingly. Keep it locked.
You're listening to Exercise Freedom Radio. on 105.1.
Stroke 9 for you, little black backpack. Right now, exchange rate 82 euro cents. I'll let you know here in 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock hour when it's updated, so that euro's going to cost you $1.23. Right now, coming up, the big rundown of the theaters. We'll have that for you after this. Your boy, Terror Squad, featuring Fat Joe, a.k.a. Joey Cracker Remy. It's called Lean Back. We're sitting about 30 minutes past 2 o'clock. Richard Gonzales hanging out with you. I'll be doing my thing till 6 o'clock. I'll have some more info. Of course, this hour of music is dedicated to all the parents out there. So we'll have a bunch of information for you this hour on what's going down at the schools, as well as some child care provider information. So make sure you stick around for all that. I'll have the principal's chat. I'll let you know when that's going to go down in just a second. But first, the rundown of the movie theater. Spangdahl and Skyline Theater is closed, but you got the Bitburg Castle Theater. Like I say all the time, if one's closed, the other one's open. That's just how they do business, trying to hook you guys up. And, of course, on Friday and Saturday nights, they got 2 movies at both locations. What else can you ask for, you know? Just always trying to make sure that you guys get the best stuff from the States. The latest one that they got from Tinseltown, Keira Knightley doing her thing in Underworld Evolution. I almost said underwear. Some folks that like Keira Knightley wouldn't mind that, but it's called Underworld, folks. Sorry about that, fellas. Underworld Evolution, 7 p.m. It's rated R. Make sure you go check that out. You get off at 6. You know, take the wife out to a nice movie. Don't take the kids to that one. It's rated R. But you can take your kids to the nice little principal chat going down next Wednesday. That's from 9 to 10 at the Spangdahl Golf Course. Kind of an odd place to have it, but hey, you know what? Go over there to the golf course. You're going to have nice little meals over there. Awesome breakfast over there at the golf course. Make sure you go check that out. And, of course, obviously, the principal's going to be there. Any parents of students attending Spangdahl Middle School, that's the catch there. It's for Spangdahl Middle School parents. So we'll have requested The Who. We'll have, what else? Jimi Hendrix. Megadeth, a whole bunch more for you on the way, so keep it locked. Coming up next, Megadeth. Requested Metal Death. Megadeth, what a retard. It's metal. Sweating bullets for you. I'm just a little silly sometimes. Request some music, we'll keep it going for you. The Who. Hey, for you parents out there, you thinking about being a in-home child care provider, maybe for you husbands out there, you want to let your wife know about this, make sure you let them know. Services is having their child care provider orientation next Tuesday and Wednesday, March 22nd and 23rd. Child care building, family child care building, 2007, first floor. Go check it out. Anyone interested in becoming an in-home care provider, make sure you get over there. If you want to know more, Liz Pendle, 452-9022. You can hit her up if you have any questions. Requested Who? Baby O'Reilly.
I can make a difference.
I can make a difference.
And I can make a difference.
It's tough being a kid these days, especially for military kids. Our Sabre schools need your help mentoring their students through those tough times. You can work with the little ones at the elementary school all the way up to the young adults of the senior class, but no matter where you volunteer, remember, these students are looking to you for guidance. To sign up, call the school you want to volunteer at directly, because you can make a difference.